Robert, what are your thoughts on beach episodes?
Beach episodes? I love a good beach episode. I'm always waiting for a beach episode.
Because it's kind of a filler episode, and I'm thinking about this because it's summertime now, officially, and I'm like, the beach episode comes on, everyone's in a bikini, and you're just sort of like, okay, fan service, but also the plot's out the window.
But not necessarily. Sometimes you can get plot development from a beach episode.
A different kind of plot.
No. Last episode of Love After World Domination was a beach episode,
God.
and we got some pretty spicy stuff out of it. We got some plot advancement.
Is there a plot in Love After World Domination?
No, but the very little plot that's there was moved forward thanks to the beach episode. So I'm not going to sit here and listen to you slander beach episodes.
I'm not fully slandering them. I'm sort of on the fence. I'm fence sitting a little bit because it's like, yeah, but at the same time, I'm like, man, you really kind of took a step back in a way.
I disagree. I feel like a beach episode is a necessary step to developing relationships of the characters.
I feel like it's a trope that is used to like, shit, we don't have anything to do this week. All right, throw the fan service in.
Now, here's the question. Do you prefer the beach episode or the hot springs episode?
Oh, I'm all about the hot springs episode. That is a totally different story.
It's the exact same thing.
No, that's plot. That's hot, spicy plot right there, and I'm all about it.
It is always for the purposes of fan service, and sometimes advancing the plot. But if you're going to get plot, it's, you know what, you might be right. It's actually more likely from the hot springs.
I was just watching Kongming, and there's a Onsen episode, the public Onsen, and they're singing to the crowd of old people. Did anything happen? No, but the friendship. I'm not even there for the plot. I'm there for the friendship.
So there was character development there, yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so I think we do agree that these hot spring / beach episodes / date episodes do have...
Oh my god, if there's a date episode, that's 100% plot. I haven't seen a date episode since Your Name in 2017.
I'm talking like going to the aquarium.
Oh, I'm all about the aquarium. That's no comparison between an onsen and a beach versus a date.
So we're on the same page here. If it involves water, we're all about it.
100%. Welcome back to S-Class, the highest tier in podcasting. With me is the hottest beach body model on this side of the planet. It's Robert.
That is one of the greatest honors you've ever bestowed upon me, and I will take it in stride.
And I am the boiling water of this podcast, Onsen Justin.
Can't do it without the water.
Jesus, what a terrible opening.
I liked it.
Thank you. Robert, this is our monthly episode, so we're just going to go through our usual anime and video games that we have consumed this month. Before this episode began, I said, sneak in Chapter 1 of Alien Area, Rob. This is the newest Shonen Jump manga that literally just came out today on the app. Rob, what are your thoughts?
So, when I first saw the name of this manga a couple weeks ago, I said, this is the name of a manga that will instantly be axed. This is such a terrible name. And I read the synopsis, and then I was really even further down, and this is destined for the axe in 15 chapters.
How did you even hear about this?
On Twitter. I follow some of the shonen Twitter accounts, and they're aware of all the information of what's coming when things are getting axed.
Okay.
So I've been aware of this, and I did read it, and it actually wasn't as bad as I anticipated.
Did you think it was below average? Like, did you think it was on the bad side? Because I actually quite enjoyed it.
I was surprised that I didn't dislike it. I thought it was very solidly average, but not in a bad way. Like, Doran was awful. Ayashimon was awful. This I thought was, okay, this isn't that bad.
Oh, you gave Ayashimon a try too? I hated it.
Yeah, no, I read the first chapter and I hated it. I don't even think I finished the first chapter of that. That's what I'm saying, though. This I actually kind of enjoyed reading through the chapter.
It's kind of like Sakamoto Days-esque in terms of like the art style. And it's about a boy whose parents are dead because the parents are always dead. He has to protect his two little siblings and take care of them. His hand's an alien, and it's Men in Black.
And his hand is basically Luffy's power, where he can extend his arm as much as he wants and punch really hard with it.
As far as we know, it could be more. But it kind of reminds me of Parasite, which is about a boy who gets his hand taken over by an alien. But I like how they kind of leaned into the Men in Black tropiness of it, where they're like, these guys in black suits come and like, everyone please face this way. We're going to erase your memory type of deal. I thought that was like funny because it's self-aware.
Now, I agree with you, but I hope it leans more to being funny than overly serious. Not that I don't want it to be have serious elements, but like I feel like a lot of these new battle shonens that have come in have tried too hard to do the whole Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, like really hardcore thing where there's obviously some humor, but that's definitely not the focus. It's more on the gruesomeness, the grotesqueness. I really am getting tired of that. Like having that gruesome, grotesque battle shonen in modern day Tokyo.
You know what the thing is? It's whenever you lean too far in one direction, it just gets stale. Because it's like when Chainsaw Man and Jujutsu Kaisen hit, like whether you like them or not, they were fresh, you know.
Absolutely.
And then they were fresh because people kept putting out Boku no Hero type of shit, and they were like, we're tired of this. And now we're leaning way too far. It's like, oh, this is selling. And now
Yeah.
it's like, where's the originality? Like, do you really want to tell this type of dark story, or are you just kind of leaning into it because you think you're going to get some numbers from it?
Right, and I think the pendulum is now needing to swing in that other direction because we can't keep doing this modern Tokyo setting with all these battle shonen serious, grim, dark superpowers. It's been done too many times, and at this point, so many of these series have failed at this point since
Yeah,
Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man.
I'm
So
totally in agreement. Yeah.
if this swings in the other direction, this actually might be pretty enjoyable.
As long as it balances the two, and the reading it was very like easy. Like for example, what's the I'm sorry, Akane Banashi. Like I like Akane Banashi, but I don't always enjoy reading it. Or like PPPPP. I don't know if that's the right amount of P's. It's not a pleasure to read, but it's not badly written, you know. But this was like easy and flowing.
Yeah, it was nice and simple, and I'll agree with you on that. That Akane Banashi is more work to read, but I'm not going to sit here and listen to you say that you don't enjoy Akane Banashi because it's fantastic.
Every time I read Akane Banashi, I'm like, yeah, it's good, it's solid, but it's always like, oh, do I want to open this chapter today? You know, it's like a little
Well,
bit of a slog to get into
I
it.
think just because there's layers of cultural elements that we're learning about because it's something that we don't really understand. It's Rakugo. That's not part of our culture in America.
Totally
Like
agree, and
we're learning about it.
I'm not bashing Akane Banashi in that respect. I'm just saying that this is just genuinely an easier read for me
Yes,
because it's
absolutely.
Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones, except in Japan.
No, I'm. You know what? I'm with you.
We're on
It
the
was a
same
lot
page.
more enjoyable than I thought it would be.
Okay, cool. So that is Alien area. The next game,
Aliens area?
Alien.
Aliens area.
Okay.
I told you the name is the only problem with it so far.
I like the alliteration, but they can work on it. Well, no, they can't. It's too late. So I've been watching a lot of Soma the last couple of years. We watched seasons 1 and through 3 sort of together or relatively on the same pace. And after 3, I kind of fell off. As soon as the train was introduced, I was like, oh gosh. And in theory, this whole idea of the rebels fighting the Elite 10 sounds like super exciting. But I finally finished season 4, and personally, I thought it was really stale, except for the last match. Like I
No,
predicted every single match outcome,
yeah.
and also um, the when they did in season 2, when the battles were facing off, it was like spicy and interesting, but they didn't iterate on that at all, which is why I was like, this is not interesting anymore.
No, I think it got too far away from being. I mean, it was never grounded, obviously. Delicious food making people's clothes fly off isn't the most realistic thing, but it did still feel like Soma's goal was kind of far off and that he genuinely had to go through school and learn to fail. And then this kind of like threw that all out the window. We all of a sudden have evil villain of food that is like trying to change the entire culture of food and how people look at food. And it just got too silly, I think, while also taking itself incredibly seriously, but also not taking itself seriously. It just thematically kind of took too much of a jump for me.
I could kind of get behind the theme of it a tiny bit, like sort of like home cooking versus like no the bourgeoisie type of this is better food than your food no matter what the objectiveness of it. I could kind of understand that kind of battle, but the to your point, it just got kind of like ridiculous. And the point about like the theme gets even worse in season 5, where you
Oh,
have
I'm not sitting here and talking about season 5. Everyone in the entire world agrees that season 5 is the worst piece of garbage ever
is it
created
okay? I haven't
in all media.
I haven't finished it, but can I just give the synopsis of the evildoers in season 5? I'm only like 4 episodes in.
Go ahead.
The dark cooking KKK wants to take over the cooking world.
Yep.
And they have a
And
tournament arc to prove it.
they cook with chainsaws and they cook with juggling materials. It's the stupidest thing in the world.
I haven't gotten to the chainsaw part yet, but I have heard of it.
You know what the funny thing about it is? The reason it got like this is because their chef correspondent went on maternity leave.
Okay.
No,
yeah.
she went on maternity leave, and somehow that meant they couldn't figure out how to do anything with cooking. So they just destroyed their series.
As if there's not a lot of really good chefs in Japan.
Right.
Like,
they just said, we're not going to get one. We're just going to forget about
We're going to run with it, guys.
And try our best. Didn't work out.
Yeah, it's just really disappointing. And one more thing I do want to mention is the ridiculousness of Erina's dad's special ability of when he eats food, he makes everyone else naked instead of him getting naked. And at that point, I was like, okay, you pushed the border of ridiculousness to the part that it's funny again. But it was over the top. It was so silly.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It does take itself seriously, but it's still Soma, so it's still silly. But then, I don't know. It just didn't work as well as it did in the past.
Okay, I was interested to hear what your thoughts were, because I know that you and John are lovers of this series much more than I am, and it just kind of fell off. And I'm gonna try and finish season 5 before the end of the year, but I'll do like an episode a week or something. We'll see.
Yeah, there's moments, but it's overall pretty terrible.
Okay, fantastic. Robert, tell me about Vigilantes. The ending, it finished?
Vigilantes is done. Vigilantes is also known as the actually good version of My Hero Academia. It is the spin-off. It's got a bit... I feel like it's been running for quite a while. I mean, it ended at 116 chapters.
That doesn't feel like a lot, but it's a monthly, right?
Bi-weekly, I think.
Okay.
Or bi-monthly. Isn't it that the same thing? Right? Twice a month. Give or take. All throughout, it was incredibly solid. The last year was dragged out one fight, and like about 6 or 7 months into it, I was like, this is so awful. I need this to end. But then every week that it continued, it just became hilarious that it wasn't ending. So it ended up becoming, oh my god, this is amazing.
Was it hilarious that it was like painful that you just pushed it so far in one direction, or was it actually good?
It wasn't a bad fight, but the fact that it releases so infrequently made it tough to, get through.
Sure.
But then when I realized this fight really is never going to end, it just became awesome and hilarious again. Anytime we discuss the ending of a manga, 95% of the time I'm let down and disappointed.
It's hard to stick the landing.
This was wrapped up pretty well. I'm happy with the way it ended. There was one thing about it that I didn't love, and that was the unconfirmed romance. And I always, I know it's shown and you're never going to get the romance you want, but I feel like we deserved it at the very least. But that was my only qualm with it. Yeah, Pop Step.
Everyone's girl, Pop Step.
Overall, though, I really enjoyed Vigilantes.
I fell off of it around the time when like the drugs became a big thing. That's pretty early, I think. That's probably like the first 20, 30 chapters. But
yeah,
Koichi's a much better character than Deku by
he's fantastic. And the way he develops is awesome. Because Koichi's character himself doesn't necessarily change. He stays true to himself. He is what he is throughout for the most part. But it's the way he's so confident in the way he feels and how he cares about the everyman, no matter how little people care about him, and that conviction that just keeps going throughout the series, no matter how bad and dangerous things get. And as you see that develop and get further and further, it's just, this character is awesome. Like this wholesome little dude that everybody dumps on is truly what it means to be a hero. And I think that's what the main series just doesn't get.
Yeah, Deku sort of loses that. Deku becomes more self-centered in a way. Okay, that's awesome. Maybe I'll pick up Vigilantes. I don't know if I'll get to it this year, but I do want to get back to reading it one day.
I'd definitely recommend it.
Okay, cool. Okay, next on the docket is 86. So, yeah, you guys all have that friend that just doesn't shut up and is like, hey, you have to watch this. Hey, you have to watch this. And that's our friend Ryan, and we don't listen to him. But we have another friend, his name is Rich, and he told us to watch 86. And I had a date the other night and it got canceled. And Rich actually helped set up that date. And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna let this day be a bad day. So I watched 86, and 86 is a masterpiece.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah. Um, it's genuinely amazing. And me and Rich are going to pod about it. There's actually a part 2 to this series, another 12 episodes I need to watch, but I finished it in 3 days. It was literally last Thursday. It's Sunday now. And in terms of what the story's about, it's about this girl called Lena. She's a major in the military, and her country is fighting in a war against these robots that are like autonomous AI robots that are kind of trying to take over like civilized world. And her country has their own autonomous machines fighting back against them, and she commands them like telepathically. I'm gonna lose you a little bit, I can tell. But basically everyone in the world is sort of like, whatever, fuck the robots, like who cares if they get destroyed. But Lena's kind of a weirdo. She's like, every time one of their robots dies, she's all sad and shit, and like, what a fucking freak. And everyone else is just like having beer, letting the robots do their own thing and not giving a shit. Like, what is she, like some sort of like, like the animal people, like the super liberal, like, oh, like dogs and don't eat the
Like
pigs.
the animal rights activist.
Animal rights
but
activist.
for robots.
Exactly. So you think she's kind of weird. But everything is not what it appears. And I'm just going to leave it at that, because you really have to dig it up yourself to be like, oh shit. Every single episode, there's a oh shit moment that kind of keeps you in suspense for the next one. And not only is the story just unbelievably solid, the characters are well written and like you have a lot of empathy for them. And also the music is phenomenal and the animation's great too. There's not a wasted moment in the series where you're just like, oh, they're sort of pandering for time. Like there's like a wide shot where they're just sort of panning across the screen and you're sort of like, okay, I know that you're running out of budget. There's not a dull moment throughout the first 11 episodes that I watched.
Now, this is based on a light novel, correct?
Correct.
I think that's what Rich had said. And is this, when the anime is done, the next 12 episodes, is that it for this series? Or is there going to be more?
Apparently there's more. Season 2 is in the works, and Rich is caught up with all the light novels, and he says it continues to be fantastic.
Are the light novels complete?
I don't think so. I think it's still ongoing.
Okay.
But I think the thing that kept you away from it is because I think Rich kind of compared it to Attack on Titan. And
yeah, this is an instant way to get me out of it. No chance I'm ever going to touch this.
I think you should give it an episode. I think you should give it 2 episodes and just see if you're into it. It's not like as gratuitously gory as Attack on Titan is, but it is sad. But it feels justifiably sad. Like the characters are all really likable.
But does it have Hans?
No, it does not have Hans.
I don't see this happening then.
Oh man, it might be my favorite thing that I've seen this year. And
wow, okay.
Yeah, and I was like thinking about it. I was comparing to like Real and what else did I really like this year? Better than Dress Up Darling. Like I'm thinking a bunch of stuff that I really enjoyed.
The 3 chapters of Gash Bell.
It's better than the 3 chapters of Gash Bell Part 2. It's up there. It's definitely in the top 5 of the year for me. And we'll see what else happens in the next 6 months. But 86, super solid. I'm going to finish Part 2 next month or so.
All right. I'll respect that, and maybe I'll check out the 2 episodes. But if Hans doesn't appear at any point, I'm dropping it.
There's like a Hans... No, actually, no. He's a very responsible man. He's not Hans at all. there are a lot of Hans-like characters. Like, all the guys in the military who are literally drinking on the job. There's like a dozen Hans, if not more.
It might catch me.
Yeah, give it a shot. See if you like it. Robert, tell me about Summertime Rendering.
You've never heard of this?
Never heard of it at all.
It's one of the hot things of this season, the anime, Summertime Rendering.
Is it smut?
No. It's murder mystery, and I put it on here because I wanted to talk about it because I thought it would be hilarious to watch me try to explain what this series is.
The animation looks solid, like the drawings.
It's really, really well done. So I'm 5 episodes in. I think that's all that's out right now. And I really don't know what's happening.
I see a boy leaning into this woman's chest on a train.
Okay, that's Shinpei. He's our protagonist. So Shinpei is basically Bill Murray in Groundhog Day, where every time he dies, he goes back to the start of like this cycle. And it seems like until he's able to figure out the mystery of why Ushio, who's the girl in the bathing suit, was murdered by. Oh, so there's these shadow creatures that create a shadow of you, and they
Uh-huh.
replace you, and you can't really discern who is the shadow and who is the original. And
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
wait, but but we found out that Ushio's shadow is actually not evil. So, as you can see, there's a lot going on here, and I'm not really sure what's going on. But at some point, he's going to get out of the cycle, and everyone's going to live happily ever after, except Ushio, because she's already dead.
But if she's actually dead.
Oh no, she's dead.
Okay.
They had a funeral for her and everything.
This seems
Although she
very
might not be dead.
TPD. This seems very outside of your normal comfort range.
The animation looked really good. It's been very well received, and like on all the top 10 list of the season, this has been in like 3 or 4 like every week in the top 5. So I wanted to give it a shot. It seemed high quality, and it is. It's really good. It's really enjoyable. I'm just not sure if it's gonna be one of those things that clicks once it's all over, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense, or I'm just stupid.
I hope this isn't like ReZero. I know you haven't seen ReZero, but the main character just dies over and over and over again. He's like a piece of shit. He's annoying.
No. The main character in this is like awesome. He's genuinely trying to like save this entire village and like figure out the best way to get out of this cycle and solve the mystery, which I guess will be what gets the cycle to end. That's what I'm guessing here.
Okay. I mean, the animation looks beautiful. I'm definitely going to check this out.
Yeah, and it's not like shitty isekai. It's, taking place in a normal Japanese island village, and he's trying to solve this mystery after returning to the island after a few years away.
I'm with it. Okay. Okay. That's everything we have for anime and manga. And I think I'd like to set a rule, Robert, for our monthly episodes. I do not want to talk about Spy Family or One Piece for the next 3 months, maybe till the end of the year. But I think we had to stop.
I am okay with that. I think we both have spoken way too much about Wano, and at this point, it's time to end it.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Let's talk some video games. I didn't play a lot of video games this month, so I sort of tried to sneak them in the last couple of days. I bought a game called Risk of Rain 2 a year ago for $6.24, which I was very proud of. I turned it on, and it is a roguelike, so you kind of die and you get a better trial next time. You just keep getting better at the game,
Like Hades, right?
like Hades. And
Which you loved.
I
Yeah.
loved Hades, which is why I was like $6.24 for like a Hades like game. This is going to be amazing. It wasn't.
It wasn't.
You get dropped off on this dangerous planet. You're trying to survive, and I'm really bad at this game because it's a first-person shooter. My experience with third-person shooter, first-person shooter, I'm bad at shooters. It doesn't matter.
Wait, do you see your character, or you face from the gun?
I don't remember, which is why I know the difference. I don't remember which one it was because I played so little of it.
Oh, that's okay. That's telling.
I want to say it's third. It's definitely third.
Okay.
And you just jump around, try to get not killed by the aliens trying to kill you. And I can't aim for the life of me. My shooting experience is I went to a classmate of ours called Smokehouse Stack, and we went to his house in senior year of high school, and I played Halo with him for 10 minutes, and I shot a mountain, and it ricocheted and killed me.
So that was it. That's the only shooting game you've ever played, is 4 minutes of Halo.
I believe so. Have we ever played a shooting game together?
No, definitely not. I don't really like shooting games either.
Yeah, I never played GoldenEye or anything like that. So yeah, I realized this might not be the game for me. I'm going to give it a few more tries because I paid $6 for it, and maybe I'll just get better at it. Probably not, though.
Get your money's worth. Get that $6 worth of game time out of it.
I'll get 6 hours worth out of it. That's actually a lot. We'll see.
Oh, that's way too much. $1 an hour?
Okay, maybe a little bit less. We'll see. We'll see how I get on.
That's ridiculous.
Robert, can you tell me about Kirby and the Crystal Shards?
This game sucks.
Dude, you're crazy. You're so crazy.
That's everybody that played this game as a child is saying, "Oh my god, how could you hate this game?" Well, I never played it as a kid. I've only played it as an adult, and it is awful.
What is awful about it? Like, is it the port?
It's so slow.
Well, yeah, it was made in, 1995?
That doesn't matter. Super Mario 64 still plays flawlessly. Ocarina of Time still plays flawlessly.
No,
this game is crap. It really does.
Ocarina does not play flawlessly.
It does. It absolutely does.
I tried playing that 5-10 years ago, and it was not great.
I've played it maybe 4 months ago. Still love Ocarina of Time. Crystal Shards is awful.
Why? Like, okay, so the pacing's bad. Is the gameplay
No, it's
bad?
not. It's not the pacing. It's that Kirby moves at a snail's pace.
Hmm.
He's so slow. It's just not fun. I just
Really?
and the flying with Kirby has always been slow, but his walking is just terrible.
It's a
I just
2D
want to
platformer, right?
move. Yeah.
Yeah, and you just kind of like walk in a straight line and suck things up and throw the powers and combine them
Well,
and stuff
that's
like
what's
that.
unfortunate is because the power combination aspect of it is really cool. And I can
Yeah.
see that the powers are really cool if they were in a better engine. This just isn't a good Kirby engine. Everything about it would work if it was just not maybe an N64 game.
I like the little painter girl. I like the
Yeah,
Waddle
that's the thing I'm
Dees.
saying. There's nothing wrong with the characters. There's nothing wrong with the art. There's nothing even wrong with the way that the levels are designed. It's just too slow and
Just
too
got
clunky. I don't like controlling Kirby.
okay. Fair enough. I
Game
mean,
sucks.
I haven't played it since I rented it from Blockbuster, which is telling of when I got it. So it's your word against 7-year-old Justin's word.
And then that's that.
That's that. Okay. I've been playing another 2D platformer. It sounds like it's a lot better than Kirby and the Crystal Shards, and it is Cuphead. I bought this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've played Cuphead.
Oh, have you played Cuphead?
Yeah.
I bought it for the Switch for my birthday like a year ago, and I haven't touched it because I heard it was so hard. It's really fucking hard, but it's like, I don't know if you got the same feeling, but it's really fucking hard. But you always feel like, oh, if I just did that one thing differently, I could have beaten that.
It doesn't cheat you. You never feel like you lost because of the game.
Yeah,
You feel like you can always get better. Like some game design is like, oh, that was bullshit. Why did I die there? Like that's ridiculous. But with
yeah,
Cuphead, it's like, okay, I have a better idea of what to do next time now.
yeah. And it's like, oh, I fucked up. I should have like backstepped instead of forward stepped. Like
Yeah,
that's my
yeah.
dumbass. But it just moves at such an insane pace where you're like let's say you have a 4x4 grid, like you only have two spaces you could sit in that are not getting rained on by bullets or some sort of ridiculous sort of attack. And it's so satisfying and cathartic when you finally beat the boss after losing for like 20 rounds in a row where you lose. And each boss fight is only 2 minutes when you actually get it right. So you can constantly just keep trying it without getting too invested. Even if you're towards the end, you can keep trying it again. It's not that bad.
Yeah, and it
Um,
quickly throws you back into it when you lose. So
yeah.
you don't feel like you're wasting time. You don't get pissed off every time you lose because you have to sit through a long screen, a long loading screen. You just kind of get right back to it. Basically, the complete opposite of Kirby and the Crystal Shards.
A game came out 20 years earlier. But besides the gameplay, I played it actually last night. I was like, all right, let me get one more game in for our monthly. And I ended up staying up until 3 in the morning playing it for like 3-4 hours. I was like, fuck, I fucked up. I should have just gone to bed. But it's really satisfying. And I'm
Yes,
definitely going to play more
I
of it.
will agree with you on that. I'm a big fan of Cuphead.
And I love the music. It's like 1920s old timey music, like makes you want to like wag your finger up in the air.
Yeah, the art design is awesome. It's very unique. It's something we really haven't seen, which is at this point enjoyable in the gaming industry.
Yeah, totally. Robert, tell me about Mario Strikers Battle League. This is the one that was announced on the E3 a while ago, or the Nintendo Direct.
I don't know. I played through the demo. It's kind of a bummer, honestly.
Really?
And this isn't like, oh, it sucks like Kirby. This is just like really disappointing. Everything
Why?
about it. Because have you ever played the one on the GameCube?
No, I'm playing all the Mario sports this year
Okay, I
recently.
mean, Strikers on the GameCube was a ton of fun. The Wii one was really good too. This one just feels kind of slower. The arenas are really constricted. Um, I don't know. It wasn't fun. It just wasn't fun to play. And they're also like doing the thing that they did with Mario Golf and Mario Tennis, where they're releasing the game with like 4 characters, and then it's free DLC, but you have to wait a year to get the game as it's meant to be. So we have like no characters right now. There's not even Daisy, which is bull. I don't know. I'm sick of the way the Mario sports games are being handled, and I'm not going to get this.
I was going to say, so are you going to get this? Because you tend to spend money on things even if you hate them because of your loyalty.
Yeah, no, but this I'm not even. It's not even loyalty. It's just that like I'll go like 2 months without getting a new game, and I'll be like, all right. I mean, it's $50. I'll get it.
Okay.
But this, I have no intentions of getting this. Fire Emblem comes out 2 weeks later. I'm not going to waste my time on this.
The Muso game or the real Fire Emblem?
The Muso game. God, I wish there was a new Fire Emblem game coming out. There hasn't even been one announced.
Dude, you were so angry about the Muso game. You're gonna get it?
No. I was angry about the Muso game because it wasn't announced as a new Fire Emblem, mainline game. I have nothing against Muso games. I love Muso games. I was always going to get this. I was just pissed off that it wasn't an actual Fire Emblem game.
You were so salty that day.
I was, very.
But you're still gonna get it.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, you're ridiculous. Speaking of, let's move into the big news, Morgan's breaking news. And
I love this segment.
I just love the title.
No, that's the only thing, yes.
We actually have a lot of news today. And speaking of things that you hate, but you're going to buy anyway.
Oh, Pokemon, right?
New Pokemon trailer. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I mean, my reaction is the same as when the first trailer came out, where it definitely doesn't look as awful as Sword and Shield, but I'm still not ready to anoint it as good.
Dude, I remember last year when you were telling me about Legends of Arceus, and I was like, oh, this doesn't look bad. This actually looks bad. Like, I'm realizing my mistake now. Legends of Arceus looks like shit. This looks just as bad, even though it's a year or two later, in terms of the animation and graphic quality.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. It's just, you get to a point where now we're 6 years into the Switch's life cycle, and these games still look like they belong on the Wii. It's just, it's sad. It really is. This is the highest grossing media franchise in the world, and these games look awful.
Yeah, they're not even trying in terms of like the video game side. Like the drawings, I think the designs are fantastic, but or they're solid.
I've liked all the new Pokemon designs they've shown so far, for the most part.
I'm a big fan of Lechonk.
Lechonk is great.
There's definitely some Gen Zers working on the Pokemon team right now.
I'm actually not a fan of the character designs, though. It looks like they're trying to go like really generic character designs. They don't look like metaverse type of character designs. They don't even look like anime characters anymore.
I don't even remember them. I just remember that they kind of let you choose your race, which I thought was cool.
It's more so like overall the art style of the character designs.
Yeah. And I don't remember it, which I think is a testament to the fact that they're so generic without personality.
It is nice that they're offering much more customization, but I wish it was more in that anime-ish style. This just feels really like generic, modern, like computer animation. These are our characters. These are your avatars. I don't know. They're not great.
I think what's kind of nice about not giving you as much optionality is that in the manga and anime, those characters have their own story as well. So you're kind of role playing a little bit more rather than self-immersing. And so there's pros and cons to both of it.
No, absolutely. I don't know. I'm still not as angry as I was with Sword and Shield, but I'm still not like thrilled with this game.
I mean, we are getting the new engine, which is nice. I mean, it'd be terrible if they went backwards to 2D or to the little pixel art.
No.
I might get this. I've been saying that for years. I might delve back into the world of Pokemon, but this might be it. We'll see.
Yeah.
Rob, can you tell me a little bit about the Anya Tamogachi?
They're making a Tamogachi with Anya. That's it.
Does it have like little horns and it's pink or something?
Yeah, it's Anya, but in a Tamagotchi.
Does she shit and you have to clean it up? Like,
yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. It hasn't come out yet, so we don't know anything other than the fact there's a Tamagotchi and it's going to be Anya.
Man, they are like, I wonder how much of this stuff they planned before the anime release and how much of this stuff like, whoa, this is doing better than we thought. Let's fucking just keep throwing money at it. And
you see, now with this, it has to have been planned because this is way too soon for all these things to be coming out. And my example for this is when Disney released Mandalorian and all the Baby Yoda stuff happened. They didn't have merchandise ready for like 6 to 7 months. They did not know that was going to be like this huge thing that everybody loved. Yeah, and if Disney, wasn't that prepared and it took Disney that long to get it going, they clearly had been prepared for Spy Family.
Yeah. Yeah, Japan, not the fastest moving country when they're not prepared.
Exactly. So they had this ready for years, it seems.
Okay, cool. I mean, neither of us are going to get it, but we'll take a look at it on YouTube.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny.
This might be something that you could flip on it if you get a few of them.
Yeah.
I have a few news articles here. I think we can burn through them pretty quickly. The first one is Made in Abyss has a new trailer. This is for season 2. The anime came out in 2017, and I think it was relatively consensus anime of the year, or like top 3 anime of the year. So I was just wondering if maybe it just didn't get good sales or something like that, and why it wasn't releasing the season 2. And the trailer's out. Totally new characters. I have no idea what the fuck is happening.
Did you watch Made in Abyss?
I did.
Oh, okay. I don't
liked
know
it.
anything about it. Yeah, I didn't watch or engage with it in any way.
I think you would hate it. It is
Okay, then that's great.
It's about these like really cute chibi like characters, and they're going on an adventure. There's a big abyss, and there's like 8 levels to the abyss. Sounds like a grand time for you, right?
Yeah, this doesn't sound bad.
As you get lower into the abyss, like the more fucked up things happen to you. So you can go on level 1, you can go treasure hunting, but if you go to like level 4, you can't come back up. Otherwise, you turn into a disgusting monster, and like the gravitation and stuff like that. Like the lower you get, like blood will start coming out of all of your orifices. And so it's like this dichotomy of these ridiculously cute chibi characters fighting this totally horrible and cruel world. And season 1's like kind of sad, and I'm guessing
Yeah, no, I'm good on
that.
this.
Yeah, it's kind of it's kind of just like shocking the cute chibi stereotype by using these types.
Oh, I gotcha. It's a juxtaposition of it all.
Subversing it. Yeah, that's subverting it. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So I'll watch this when this comes out, but I thought that was interesting. The next one is Sega Mega Drive Mini 2 console comes out. That's a mouthful. And they're releasing it with 50 games. Did you have a Sega?
No, I never had Sega growing up.
Any thoughts on this? You want me to list some of these names on you?
Tired of these mini consoles. What are you paying all that money for something that you can just download online?
On an emulator?
These games are 30 years old. I'm done with the novelty of it all.
Is it because you have no connection to the Sega, or is it because, like, if they did this for, like, the Virtual Boy, or, I don't know.
I mean, they did it for the NES and the Super NES, and I really didn't care about that either, honestly.
You can play it on your Switch.
Yeah, it's just, well, I'm going to waste money on it. It just takes up space.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I wasn't sure, because I know that you're quite a collector of the video
Throw it
games.
all on my computer.
Okay, fair enough. This, it's coming out for a relatively cheap price, $84 US.
The Nintendo ones were like 60.
Okay, fair enough. I wasn't sure what to expect from this from you.
A big old
Okay, I think this one will get you a little more hype, but will give me a big which is the Dragon Ball Super film is to release in the States on August 19th.
Are you excited? Can you wait to see it?
I'm not watching this.
You are coming to the theaters with John and I. We are seeing this movie.
I am boycotting toy animation.
You don't have a choice.
I'm not watching this. I have no interest in this.
No, you are watching this movie with us. Deal with it.
Okay, here's my boycotting toy argument. Number 1, I think they're a shitty company. I think that they do lackluster, drawn-out animation just to make money.
Absolutely. I don't disagree with you on that.
Number 2, it's more like a 1A. Dragon Ball Super has no soul to it. Like, they're literally just like, okay, we need new ideas. Like, oh yeah, Red Ribbon, that happened like 40 years ago. Let's revive them again and make new androids again. And whose characters that people love? Oh, Piccolo and Gohan. They're going to be in it for like the first 10 minutes. They're going to job, and then Goku's going to come in with some rainbow-colored hair and save them.
That sounds awesome.
I hate this.
I can't wait.
I'm not watching this movie. You're
going to the theaters with you. You're going to treat me to popcorn and soda.
I ain't treating you to shit. I ain't treating you to shit.
You're going. There's nothing else to tell you. We're gonna have a great time.
It's not happening. I'm gonna be sitting here updating this fucking spreadsheet and be like, Rob, tell me about the Dragon Ball Super. You're like, yeah, didn't you love it? And I was like,
I'm seeing it. That's all it is.
Okay, last piece of news. I don't think this is that interesting, but the latest Steam Deck news is Steam Deck dock is delayed indefinitely.
Oh, they're making a dock for it? Like you can play it on the TV?
That's what it sounds like, but apparently because of COVID, they don't have the resources. And frankly, I'm a little sick and tired of this COVID excuse.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that like have come out that should have been delayed, and then other things that they're like, yeah, you know what? We're not releasing this now because of COVID.
It's like, aren't cases going down relatively? Like, isn't everyone working?
It just feels like an excuse for a lot of like things at this point. Like Zelda 2 should have come out before Breath of the Wild 2 should have come out long before COVID even was like a thing. And
Yeah.
yet now we're like 6 years away with a game running on the exact same engine, and they're not even showing clips of it.
And Japan's like, yes, we have an excuse now. And it's like, I'm totally sensitive. Like, people are getting sick, people are dying, and I get that. But I'm just saying, like, just tell me that it's not ready. Don't tell me it's a COVID related issue. Just say you need more time in the oven.
Yeah, that's it. Just be more forthright with everything.
Yeah. We'll still complain, even if they are, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, it doesn't make a difference.
Okay, guys, that is all of Big News Morgan's breaking news.
That was a big News Morgan section this week.
That was a
month.
fat Morgan section for sure.
He is an albatross.
Albatross. I thought he was a. What did I say last time? Started with a C. Concord.
Condor.
Concord might be.
I don't know.
Plane.
I think he's an albatross.
Okay, we'll look it up after. Let's move into emails. If you'd like to email us, you can email us at sclasspodcast@gmail.com, or you can shoot an Instagram message over to Rob at.
What is our username on Instagram? Is it at YT_S?
No.
No, I don't know. I don't know.
sclass_YT on Instagram.
Okay, I was close.
And Twitter. Rob, what's your Instagram? What's your Twitter handle?
I have Twitter. It's sclassrob.
That's nice where you'll actually respond. sclassrob.
Correct.
So if you want to send Rob a question, message him on Twitter. Rob, we have one question today, and it is from our friend Jack. It says, "Hi guys, do you guys have any tattoos? And if you were to get any anime or video game tattoos, what would it be? Thanks for the podcast."
Definitely not.
Do we have any tattoos? Neither of us.
No, neither of us.
No.
What would I get?
I've had this discussion with my sister before, and I was like, "Why would you put a bumper sticker on a Maserati?" And she's like, "You're not a Maserati."
It's more like, where should I put this bumper sticker on my 2008 used Honda Civic?
That got in like 6 crashes.
Got 150,000 miles on it. I don't know. I've never like thought to get a tattoo. I've never even considered getting a tattoo.
I don't know what I'd want in my life that is permanent enough that I'd like it for the rest of my life and not be like, I regret this.
Yeah, I don't want to like knock people that have these anime tattoos or video game tattoos.
You're about to, though.
Like, I'm gonna. I mean, like, I just don't think there's anything in my life I'm passionate about that I would have it like spanked on my body for the rest of my life.
You don't think you'd look good with like a nice tramp stamp of like Eno?
See, like, that's what I'm thinking. Like, my favorite series of all time is Gash Bell. Like, I would never get Gash's book tattooed to me or Gash's lightning bolt.
I was gonna say,
you know what? Maybe Gash's little lightning bolt.
It's like you want something subtle. In my opinion, you want something subtle. I don't want no anime faces on me. I don't.
No.
How about like
okay? That's what I'm going with. I'm going with the little Gash lightning bolt because then like it could just be a lightning bolt. You know, it's not too overly anime.
I feel like it's kind of cheesy though, like the lightning bolt.
But that's the thing. I would never ever get anything. So in this hypothetical situation, I guess that's what I would get.
Okay, let's do 2. Let's do one that's like realistically what would I get, and what if you're just going balls to the wall type of tattoo? And I'm thinking of both of mine right now.
Give me yours then. I need some time to think on the other one.
Okay, the balls to the wall one. I'm thinking I'm getting Shenron wrapped around my entire body, circling like my nipples all the way down my legs, and then just like the 7 Dragon Balls covering all different parts of my body. Like,
yeah, that's awesome.
2 balls on my nipple, 2 balls on my legs, like secret balls all over my body.
I like it. Okay, that's an interesting one.
That's the subtle one.
Oh, that's the subtle one. Okay.
No. I got to think of a subtle one now. Oh man,
I thought you had one ready.
No, that was my over the top one. I'm trying to think of the subtle one now. Subtle. What would the subtle one be? I think sleeves look kind of cool, honestly. But I don't know what anime sleeve I'd want that looked like badass.
All 100 demons of Gash Bell.
Oh my god. Can you get like a Yakuza tattoo over your whole body?
That would be sick.
And then on your heart, it's Kido saying, "You are my king."
You are my king.
That'd be fantastic.
I think that's what I would do. Yeah.
That's pretty good. A subtle one for me. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I don't want the Dio star mark on my neck.
Oh, okay. That's a cool one too. Yeah.
You're telling people a lot about yourself by putting that there.
Yeah. And nothing good.
Oh my god. Okay, thank you, Jack, for that email. Oh God, 45 minutes in, Rob. Any final things you have to say to our lovely listeners?
If you want to mail me an Anya Tamagotchi, I am open to it. Just reach out to me on Twitter. S-Class Rob.
All right. Thank you guys as always, and we'll catch you guys next time.